Carolina Panthers are coming off a shocking win in Lambeau against the Green Bay Packers, and now they get to host their division rival, the New Orleans Saints, who started their second round pick, Tyler Shough, in his first start against Los Angeles Rams, but unfortunately fell by a lot. 34-10 loss to them. My name's Tyler, here with my brother Ryan, and today we're going to be breaking down this Week 10 NFC South matchup and providing our predictions at the very end of the video. So be sure to stay tuned, leave a comment, let us know who you think is going to win and why. And while you're at it, hit that subscribe button to get notified when new videos come out. And Ryan, I say if you're a Panthers fan, doesn't really matter how your former first overall pick does. A win is a win. 11 for
Yep.
20, 102 yards, and an interception in Bryce Young's performance here. But hey, Rico Dowdle, 25 carries, 130 yards, 2 touchdowns, got a penalty for the Hangle McCringleberry touchdown celebration, which was probably the highlight of the game. But in general, though, hey, a win's a win, especially two against Green Bay as well in Lambeau. They're going to be going up against New Orleans here, who is definitely obviously going through the rebuild, but they're getting ready for the 2026 offseason. They're going to be trying to see who they want to keep within this Kellen Moore system. And to be honest, I will say this: props to Kellen Moore. Is like when I watch this team, like they're clearly. It reminds me of the Cardinals team from a couple years
Yeah.
ago when Jonathan Gannon first got there. Like we're going to suck, but I feel like everybody's fighting really hard. So props to them for these guys here. They're going to be trying to figure out what to do with Tyler Shough, Spencer Rattler, because they're going to have a top 5 pick. It's possible they don't pick a quarterback and they're going to try and run it out, but I think that's why they go with Tyler Shough here
Yeah.
at this point in the season, get enough film on him to figure out what they want to do and see his development. But in general, though, Panthers are still well within the playoff hunt. I believe they're ninth as of right now in the NFC, 5-4 behind the Bears, who are eighth, and the Lions, who are seventh. So it would be the last wild card spot at the playoffs for today. Ryan, when you look at the Panthers here, what are some things you think they need to continue to keep on doing to not only win this game, but also to make a playoff push? And then what are your overall thoughts on the New Orleans Saints?
This was not on my bingo card for the 2025 season, but they need to keep giving Rico Dowdle the ball. Uh, I think that he has just been absolutely tremendous. I believe he actually leads the league in rushing yards right now, and that's kind of
He
crazy.
can't. He can't be.
I thought
I
he
guess
had 735. I don't think
no.
all-purpose yards.
He's third though, which is
Oh, he's
wild to think
third.
about.
Okay, okay.
Hey,
But still, okay, still third is how far off is he from first?
100 yards. It looks like from
Okay,
Jonathan
okay.
Taylor.
But still, for him being third is kind of crazy. And I just like that's been the bread and butter of this offense is running the football. They have a physical offensive line. Rico Dowdle is running the football great downhill in between the tackles. And, I think I like Bryce Young, but I feel much more confident, especially in this matchup of let's run the football, work the clock, hang on to the ball, and just not beat ourselves and open the door for the Saints because the Saints are reeling. That defense is not good. They're one of the worst rushing defenses in the league, and I think Rico Dowdle should have 35 to 40 carries in this game.
Well, and I think too, and just to correct myself, 160 yards behind Jonathan Taylor as well,
Okay.
who's at 895, but he's still third overall. I actually can't believe it, but it helps when you have a 200-yard rushing game and then like another 130-yard rushing game, and then what was the other one even too that he
Maybe I
had?
was thinking like in the last 5 games or
No,
so,
but
he's like,
he's still third. He had 183 rushing yards against Dallas, 206
yeah.
against Miami. So yeah, it checks out, especially too. He started off super slow to the season with Chuba Hubbard getting a vast majority of the carries, and so but
Mhm.
he's taken over that role now. Like, and to your point, makes sense. No offense to Chuba Hubbard, but you weren't putting up these numbers when you were
Yeah.
starting, and so um, stick with the hot hand here. So I think you're doing great, and at the same time too, to your point, the Saints defense is it's playing okay, but I mean they're still giving up 118 rushing yards per game. Kyron Williams went off for 25 carries, 114 yards, and a touchdown. So at minimum, to your point, at minimum, I think that's probably what Rico Dowdle should strive for in this game. What
Mhm.
Dave Canales should set this offense up for, because even to and not saying they're going to make a move this year, but curious just with Bryce Young's long-standing future. Just as like if he's the guy, or if teams are just figuring out how to play against him, if he's developing well enough. So I have to kind of wait and see. That being said, though, if you are Bryce Young, if you are this offense, this is also a game though too where you can go and take off and be successful against the Saints team. This defense is susceptible, but not a pushover, so to say. I think for the Saints, you know, it's going to be fun to watch them just to analyze to see where they can keep on improving. I like the way both Rattler and Shough have been slinging it. I think one of the areas over these past couple of years that they've just struggled with has just been quarterback consistency and injuries as well too.
Yeah.
So, but still having your three main guys, Rashid Shaheed, Chris Olave, Juwan Johnson, get some connection with them and just have some good average games as well too. Especially even Chris Olave. You spent a first round pick on him and he's having one of the better seasons of his career so far. 560 rushing yards, receiving yards. No 100-yard games yet, but just consistent. A lot of targets, a lot of catches each game as well too. So just a guy you can consistently rely on. I think he could be a guy when the Saints do find the right guy, that he is a guy that could take off and have consistent 1,000-yard receiving seasons. He's just been kind of screwed because there's been nobody really to throw to him there, and he's been getting just all these concussions as well too. So I think for this game, I think it's going to be interesting how Kellen Moore is going to try and get Chris Olave open. He's going to be matched up against J.C. Horn as well, and so as well too. Just how's Tyler Shough going to do? How's he going to keep on learning it and keep on developing against this Panthers defense, which is playing significantly better than what they were last year. It's not saying much because they were awful last year, but still average overall in vast majority of the defensive statistics and yards allowed. So can they get after can they protect Tyler Shough, or are the Panthers going to be able to get after him, disrupt him? And then in what ways are the Saints going to be able to scheme open Chris Olave, Rashid Shaheed, and just keep developing their young quarterbacks to see what they've got in him? And so I think that's when it comes to this game, like if you're the Panthers, like, hey, we're the better team. We need to go out and prove it. Let's disrupt this rookie quarterback. Bryce Young, you're the first overall pick from a couple years ago. Keep on developing, yes, but this should also be a game though you should have over 200 passing yards. I should have time to get guys get the guys open out in space. And to your point, what you started with Rico Dowdle, I'll also hand the ball off to him a lot. So
Yeah.
I'm going to go with the Panthers in this one at home. I just think they're the better team, a little more experience playing for a little bit more outside of just trying to put on good tape for their coaches.
Yeah. No, I'm going to go with the Panthers also. They have kind of, started to play well and build or stack a few wins in a row. And so they're 5-4 now. They're standing. I mean, they're ninth right behind the Chicago Bears, but they're kind of in the midst of the last rung of contenders there, in the second to last rung, it's them and Chicago are 5-3 and 5-4. Then you have Minnesota, Dallas, and your Falcons that are 4-4, 3-4, and 3-5. And those are the last real teams I think that have a shot to make a playoff push. But Carolina is a tiebreaker out of the 7th seed right now. San Francisco is 6-3, and then the Rams are 6-2, but they play each other this week. So there's a good shot if they can come out of this, go 6-4, that they would be in a playoff spot over halfway through the season. And from there, it's really anybody's game. And let's look, what's their schedule like coming up? So
I was just looking that up. So they have the Saints at Falcons. They have a pretty tough schedule up ahead, but opportunistic though. So versus Saints at my Falcons, which they absolutely could win that one. Then at the 49ers is tough. Home versus the Rams, which is tough. At Saints, which is going to be tough. But then Buccaneers, Seattle, Buccaneers. So, I mean, they have a tough schedule ahead, but the opportunity is there for them because the division is definitely still intact. They're 2 games back from Tampa Bay. And if they're still 2 games back going into that Week 16 matchup, they control their destiny to win the division. So, it's possible for them. And we saw this team even last year get significantly better in the second half of the season.
Yeah. So it's going to be fun to watch. I'm excited to see what the Panthers are able to do in this game and going forward, because I think that they could make some waves here in the NFC playoff picture. But let's go ahead. Let's wrap things up here. If you guys have not already, please go ahead and like and subscribe. That is the best way to help out the channel. While you're down there, leave a comment on who you think is going to come out ahead in this matchup. Will it be the New Orleans Saints? Will it be the Carolina Panthers? Other than that, we'll see you guys next time.